Good morning, fishers. Here we've got my new and improved mullet float. That was my version. Well, that one's not my version. That's been around forever, one of those. Just a simple mullet float. It's a bit of broom handle. It's painted white with an eyelet in the end. Where's the eyelet? I had one there somewhere. We lost it. Anyways, the eyelet's like a picture frame hanging eyelet, one of those guys. But here I've made my ultimate float here today. That was a version I made out of a batten. It's big, bulky. Don't make those. I picked up a piece of 25mm dowel. I think it was a metre in length. Wasn't cheap. It was around about 20 bucks. If you can find an actual pine broom handle, we're heaps cheaper, but it seems they only make bamboo ones these days. But anyway, so here's my completed product. I've just rushed spray painted that then with a rattle can, so excuse the runs. Yeah, what else can I tell you? Yeah, so basically get your dowel. I've cut it into 8cm lengths. I'm making a few here. And then what do you do? Oh yeah, I've got a 3.5mm drill bit, and I just eyeballed it about an inch in, 25mm, something like that in. Drilled a pilot hole straight through. It's a lot easier to get that little sucker there through than it is to try and put that the 13mm spade bit straight through. You'll get a lot more accuracy doing it with the pilot hole. So put the pilot hole straight through, and what I do when I use the spade bits, I'll only drill halfway, then I'll turn it over and I'll drill the other way, because you'll find you'll get a cleaner hole, and you'll find if you're using that spade bit you might come out a bit skew-iffy. So if you're drilling from each side, you got that room to adjust it and get it straight. Anyways, so that was, yeah, as I said, the completed product. So the idea of the hole, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to get some, make a bread mash, or I actually like to use chicken pellets. Just a bag of that cheap chicken pellets there. And you wouldn't need much, you wouldn't even use a cup of it, because you're only putting, what, less than a teaspoon, packing it in there. Yeah, so that's that. Pretty happy with that. Might even go use this guy in a minute. I was off to go out for a fish and it started raining, but I don't know, the sun's just come back out, so I was going to go anyway, but I just got excited when I saw I was running low on floats, and I knew I had the materials to make some more, so I decided to whip some up. As you'll see, the 25mm is a bit thicker than the broom handle, so yeah, maybe this will be your better go. Out of the 1 metre section you're going to get quite a few. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, the rig. I just thought I'll show the rig real quick. I just measure about a 6-foot piece of 6 to 10 pound mono, tie one end onto the float, and I just tie a triple overhand knot to make a dropper loop. They can be short or long, doesn't really matter, but I've made it that long today, as you can see. Where are we? So then on the top end, I used to put a little swivel on there, but the swivel's got weight so it can sink down into the weeds, whereas just doing a double overhand knot loop, and then on your braid or on your main line do another double overhand, and you can just pass that through and back onto itself like a cat's paw knot. Yeah, so you've got no weight there now, and I do prefer using braid, because if you flick it out a fair way, the braid won't sink like mono will and get caught up in the weeds. So the distance from the front of the float to there is only, what, 6-8 inches. I'll try and have that hook quite close to the float, because that's where the burley is. And then, I don't know, just put another, whatever distance you want. Probably the next one along, 6 to 8 inches as well. and I do have an excess leader, but I don't mind having that. It just gives you something to grab hold of. Anyways, I'll stop carrying on. I want to go fishing. So there's my finished product. Painting them, there's better paints out there than using a rattle can. I do have an old tin of white paint I'd like to dip them in, actually. Gives a much better finish. Or I suppose you could do a few coats of the rattle can. It's just cheap white paint. But yeah, it's nice just to use like a white house paint. Dip it in there and it does a massive thick coat and it looks really nice. But then you've got to hang it and drip it. And anyways, I'll leave it with you. Thanks for watching. Happy fishing.